to Professor Hugo.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. Are we on? Good? Okay. And who's ready for some history thing? Yeah? Cool. You know, normally people ask me about the corporate archives. And I decided, okay, let me show you how it looks. So this is a box coming from a climate control warehouse we have. And I would love to show you something. This is how it comes. And there's a lot of red tape to be cut to have access to this. So this was packed here probably, I don't know, like 10 years ago. Yeah. And let me show you. So right now we have one of our uniforms. You know, it looks kind of military style because it was showing how important was the job we was doing, delivering very important messages. So this is how it looks. This was the same experience when I opened this, but the very first time I was like, oh my God, it's like Disney World for me. Yeah, this is 1950s from one of our messengers. If you check the size, was or a very a small person or a kid. We provide support for some kids. So I like to put this here because today we're gonna talk about something. This goes here so you can enjoy these two. There are some other incredible things here, but for some other day. I only have 10 minutes. So, we're gonna talk about today, where's my presentation? Okay, here. We're gonna talk about signals, but before we start, I just wanna talk about this uniform. Any veteran in the house today? Here. Veteran? Yep. Family of veteran, active duty. Good. Check this. We're talking about signals. When you see somebody wearing a uniform, what's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? 5 words. Put it. Thank you for your service. Yeah, gratitude, right? That's the biggest gift that somebody can give to somebody wearing uniform, risking their lives every day for us. So we're talking about war. This is the way America gives gratitude to the soldiers. This is World War I victory medal, and World War II. There's a lot of symbols there. If you see, the first one has the liberty holding a sword, and the second one, the liberty broke the sword, and it's stepping on a military helmet. So if you have never seen the victory medal, I have one for you. I don't know if Austin can help us. This is a 1919 victory medal. Are we on that, Austin, please? Okay, I'll drop it here for a while. So what's important about this? This is every single soldier who risked their life in World War I received one of these. But today I'm going to share a story about a group of people who went to war, stayed there 2-3 years, came back and received nothing. How cool is that? So today, what they have in common, because they received no medal like this at all. They served in World War I. They served in the U.S. Army Signal Corps. We'll talk today about signals. They had elite skills at the top technology of the moment. And they were all women. Yeah, I read this story, was like, oh my God, what's going on here? Why? And they became the famously team called the Hello Girls. They were the switch operators wearing something like this every single day, 12-hour shifts during World War I. And they battled for the country, and then they had to battle for recognition. I'll tell you real quick how this happened. I'm already 5 minutes. Okay, I'll speed it up. And this is Okay, check this. This is something incredibly cool about Western Union. In 1916, Woodrow Wilson was running for re-election, and he ran on this promise. He has kept us out of war. War started in 1914. We're in 1916, and the United States was, that's not my business. I'm out of that. It's not my issue. And that's another thing I'd like to share with you. I have another original pin from that campaign. It says, "War in Europe, peace in America. God bless Wilson." But something happened. Germany, the German Empire, decided that it was a good idea to send a message to Mexico. And as long as their system was all destroyed because of the war, they had no telegraph, so they decided, okay, let's use civil network, and we use our coding system. What you see in the bottom is is part of that message. And this message, this was crucial for the participation of the United States in World War I. And I'll let you know what we did about that. And I'll let you know what the message said. So this was the famous Zimmerman telegram. I have this beautiful book about that. Zimmerman telegram. So the Zimmerman telegram, real quick here, this is it. And this is the translation, because the Germans had an idea, they thought it was a good idea. And the message, it was decoded by the British and shared with the President of the United States. And it says, "We intend to begin on the 1st of February unrestricted submarine warfare." So they will start attacking civil ships. "We make Mexico a proposal of alliance, make work together to reconquer Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona." It's a good idea, right? So the president had to break his promise. He ran on the promise of keep the United States out of war, and he had to break that promise. But to make that decision, he needed to be super sure. And here, in this book, it says they decided to wait for a few days until they secured the confirmation copy from Western Union. So Western Union was trust. That's equal trust at such a high level. So angry as he was, he agreed to wait. And a few days later, was in possession of Bernstock telegram from the files of Western Union. So Western Union was waiting, the President of the United States was waiting for us to confirm, hey, I need to make a decision about it. And what we said, it was, okay, that's whole word, I'm going all the way. So Western Union was the signal of trust. Germany, he had to release it to the press, so Germany plots against the United States, and this is the president talking to the Congress and asking for permission to go to war. They said yes in 1 month. So what the only barrier between the United States and war was Western Union. How cool is that? How trusted at that level, the President of the United States waiting for us to say, okay, Western Union, say yes or no, green light. So we green lighted, the war started, and here, oh my God, 1 minute, sorry, boss. Okay, take care of that. Okay, so this is it. They start recruiting for Army Signal Corps, and it says if you're a mechanic, electrician, or telegraph operator, we belong to the Army Signal Corps. They recruited, and they recruited only men. What happened? That the general in charge of the army, he realized that this man to go from here, to go click, have somebody waiting in the switchboard, what number you like to call, blah, 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 and then coming back and then connecting all the wires. It took 1 minute or more. And he said, that's unacceptable. We're gonna get killed. And he thought, hey, who's the best in the world at this business? Western Union, AT&T, and Western Electric was like a big part of that community of technology. And they hired mostly from us, and they created the Signal Corp. This is a job wreck. It said we're looking for signal corps need women, telephone operators, etc., fluent in French. They created the team, and in this book, The Hello Girls says something really interesting. It says here, how we support that. It says, this company was related in Western Union, made easier for patriotic employees to volunteer, but ensuring they would not lose money doing so. So we paid the difference on top of the soldier's salary. And this was the very first group of operators. The switchboard soldiers was their actual formal name. So in numbers, just to bottom line, instead of connecting 13,000 phone calls a day, they connected 6,000 calls a day. That at the end made a total like 26 million phone calls in 3 years, which is super remarkable fast. They connected a phone call in 10 seconds. There are records of that. So now, technology was important previously, but now we're talking about technology plus talent. It's a different signal. It means that we can win wars with technology and talent. Technology alone didn't work. They needed somebody who knew. And the equipment, we have it here, and that headphone is actually from that era. It says July 29, 1918. That headphone you have over there. And okay, 26 million phone calls early went there. So the war ended. This is where this story comes to the nice part. The war ended, and everybody, all the soldiers came home, and the United States issued around 2.5 million medals. But again, guess who did not receive anything? Incredible. The Signal Corps women, the Hello Girls, they received nothing. And they gave them a big fat no. This started a huge war on them because they was told you were civilian contractors. Even though they didn't sign any contract, there was no contract signed, and they would not receive any victory medal. So this war went through President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Maybe you know this guy, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy. This is Lyndon B. Johnson, Nixon. This is who? Gerald Ford. Yeah. Every single president said, no go. Yes, and in 1977, somebody who's very, very known for being a champion for women's rights, this dude. In 1977, he signed the GI improvement bill and allowed everybody who was under contractor to apply and get retroactive benefits. So she applied for that and checked 60 years, and they receive an honorable discharge. Would you like to see the picture here? Remember, there was 233, only 33 were still alive, and only 3 were able to attend the meeting. And here they are. This is when they received finally the thank you for your service. And for anybody who's a family of or a veteran, I think we can all say that, right? Want to say 3? 1, 2, 3. Thank you for the service. Gratitude is so important. So here they said this is not about benefits; it's about recognition. That's what they were fighting for. And to finish that, so in 2024, they passed another bill and they received the Congressional Gold Medal. And at this moment, she was their granddaughters, and they received finally the victory medal was in their hands. And for more reference, you'll find all this in Prime Video. You can find the documentary and YouTube, and you have all these books. I'm sharing with you here. So before I finish, remember this box, right? And I love every single one in this room to thank the person responsible for this, because this happened like 10 years ago. And Erin, We'd like to thank you. Give a round of applause for her. Conclusion. Sorry. Signals. My wife, who's a special education teacher, she's a behavioralist and she works with a student with serious emotional disabilities. Every single day she says, sometimes being seen is all it takes to stay. Just that. So we saw the history taught us that technology give us power and trust. Technology and talent give us performance and achievements. But the most important signal that we can all use every single day is, my dear friends, the strongest signal is recognition. Thank you.
Thank you. Hugo. Thank you, Hugo. So good. I always learn a lot.
I know.
Visual aids. Okay, we're going to keep moving. I believe next, Miss Jenna, you're going to do a few updates for us, and then you're going to introduce our guests as well.
Yeah.
Stop.
I don't know. I feel like Hugo should go last. How do I follow up to that? It's always so cool. Okay, so I'm here to share